You are a B2B service-based business owner and you are looking to gain more clients, create more impact, and more revenue in your business. Tune in to Amplify Your Marketing Message with Campbell Rapin. Every week, we're going to take you through how to build an audience of buyers, mastering your marketing message, and making offers that convert consistently. We'll see you all on the inside. If you've been thinking that your business is ready or needs a course, group program, or membership to see the scale growth in your bottom line, then this episode today is for you. Welcome to Amplify Your Marketing Message. I am your host, Campbell Rapin, and I'm going to peel back the curtain on how to be more effective if this is your growth strategy, because too many are failing at seeing the result in group, courses, and memberships. And here's why. Here's the stats. 80% of course creators see less than $1,000 in revenue from their course over the lifetime of their business. 80%, less than 1,000. Did I just blow your mind? You are not alone if you are struggling to see revenue with your courses, your group programs, or your memberships. And there are 3 reasons why so many struggle. I'm going to break them down. I'm also going to help you shift your lens to, if you want to buck the trend and you want to see success, what will it take to lay that foundation? Because truthfully, when you are looking at scaling, it is not the only option to scale by volume. But I know a lot of people buy into the belief that volume means more money, volume means less hours worked, and volume means making a bigger splash faster. There's some merit to that belief system, but I will tell you, the belief and the execution, there's a gap. And let's start with why this is so damn hard. Well, I will tell you, because I personally am in that 80%. I'm just going to own that to you right here out of the gate. I started my business thinking the answer was a course. I spent 6 months and pretty close to $10,000 Canadian to build a course. I was in a high-touch mastermind by very credible people who do course creation really well. I spent with the big guys because I wanted to see the result. And the result that I was promised was a written and course published. And I did hit the goal line. I will tell you, in fact, of my cohort, there were 5 of us from all around the world, from US, Canada, Dubai, and other parts of the world. 5 of us completed this investment. 2 of us launched courses, and none of us reached revenue. They didn't fail in their deliverable, but boy, did we miss the expectation, because we spent so many months, 6 months in my case, closer to probably 9 for my peers, to get the course launched. We did a lot of editing, a lot of revisions, a lot of rethinking, and we built them in a vacuum. You might be sitting a little uncomfortable listening to me right now because you might see yourself in the storyline. It is ironic to me now, looking back 4 years ago, because I've helped people build marketing and sales strategies to launch any number of product and service. And I've been very successful creating revenue. I've had more successful launches than unsuccessful launches in my career, and we've created a ton of money. And I mean a ton, like $1 billion ton. And yet I forgot, because I was so blinded in my own blind spot, that it wasn't about launching the course without a market to buy it. Like, honestly, how did I miss that? Is a gobsmack to me still to this day, but it is the gift I'm giving you. You have to be thinking, do you have an audience of buyers prepared to spend money for the result your course, program, group, or membership delivers? Because if not, boy, stop right now and listen up, because there are 3 reasons why that stat is so shocking and yet so easy to believe from somebody who's lived it. The first thing is that People are not telling you and not including in often course creation programs the number one thing you need, because it's hard to deliver. So they don't want to fall short of expectations. But this is it. You must have built and are always building an audience of buyers. Otherwise, you might have a sale, but it is happenstance and not predictable. And without predictable revenue, you are stalled on the wrong things if your goal is business and not hobby. An audience of buyers is the most important thing you need, regardless of what your programs and services are. Without it, you don't have a business. And that is sadly one of the things I see never included in programs, with the exception of mine, because I know that without it, you can't reach your goal line. Building an audience of buyers, not just a visibility strategy, is key. Buyers are recognized with 3 core fundamental aspects. They're problem aware, they are motivated for solution, and they are actively seeking one. And they are prepared to invest in support, time, and money. If you do not have all those things on the 3 things on the table, you don't have a buyer yet. And you can nurture them, and that's important, and there are strategies to do that. But without an audience of buyers, you will not sell your services in a group setting, whether that's course creation, content that I said is delivered in a group setting, or even a membership. And you must always be building an audience of buyers. I tell my clients, if you have a strong pipeline, I want you still spending 50% of your time on this. And it's the number one thing my clients stop doing, and they get on the roller coaster, which is why they stay with me long-term, because they go, Christine, I haven't had any new clients this month. And I'm like, well, what the heck are we talking about then? Everything gets reprioritized. And that is why I often ask my clients when we're working together, what are you doing? How many offers are going out the table? When's the last time you met some new people? What are you doing on the foundations? Because I want to see them not on the roller coaster. And the audience building is easy to get distracted around, but without it, you don't have an engine. So that's the first reason why it's not working. And of course, the flip side to that is if you want it to work, don't spend the time on courses and creating programs for more than one-to-one until you have confidence that audience is a strong pipeline who is problem aware, actively seeking a solution from someone other than themselves, and have money to invest. Without that, cart before the horse. And let's not buy into that, because it is a heartbreak waiting on the horizon. The second key reason why programs and services in a group setting often fail to create revenue is because they are focused on education. You are telling people the basics, but guess what? The education element is over. Why would people pay for education from you when chances are they can find it free somewhere else? Because education, honestly, is everywhere, and often it is available for free. If all you're offering is education, that is the problem right in a nutshell right there. People will pay for results, and results only. They won't pay for your time, and that is why the stats are also shockingly high. 70% of people who start a group program don't finish. Why? Because they don't get the result early enough. They lose steam and confidence the results are even possible. And the reason why memberships often, I'm going to say, have mediocre results is because people are too lazy to cancel it, not that they're getting the results and staying active. And you having an inactive membership base, if it is keeping revenue for you and you sleep at night, then you are not my client either. But what's important I want you to say is get the result for people and sleep better at night. People pay for results. So that begs the question, if you want to be successful at course creation, group programs, or memberships, what is the result that you are committing to in your delivery? You need to own it, challenge it, audit it, and be confident it is always on tap for people to access through the vehicle that you are creating, through the container that you're creating. Don't get lost in the features, thinking that what that feature is will buy confidence in people signing up, because it never lasts. It's like a mirage. People don't really care the how the program is delivered. What they care is about the results and the commitment that it is delivered. And there's confidence that they can see progress, and progress from day one. The third key reason why this stat happens, 80% of course creators make less than $1,000 in revenue net for the life of the program, is that they do not have the skills to be a great trainer. Remember, when you're offering a course or a group or a membership, that in of itself, you are talking to many people by nature. That means people of diverse needs, diverse learning styles, diverse education, diversity in their speed at which they want to travel, and diversity in the confidence they have in that result being possible for them. Belief is a huge differentiator. And yet, given all that eclecticness that's happening in the room, or through the self-delivery mechanic, if it's an online program, they are expecting the exact results you promised. So think about that for a second. Have you personally got the skills to train a diverse group of people? If not, start there before you build your course, because your reputation will be built on your ability to get the results for somebody, to guide them successfully to it, knowing all of that diversity and eclecticness that's at the table. And that's why so often I see people stall out of programs, struggle with trust of their course leader. And 90 times, I tell you, they come into my business because they say this, Christine, I've spent a ton of money with another mentor. And they've told me the one way to go do something because it worked for them. And Christine, I'm doing it. I'm doing all the things. I've got the same verbiage. I've got the same scripts. I've got the same artwork. I call it the same thing. I'm out in front of the audience and it's doing nothing for me. And their business is blowing up. And when I went for help, they just said, do what I told you to do. It will work. See, it's working for me. Is this relatable at all to you as you're listening to this episode? Yeah, I see it all the freaking time and it's making me crazy. And they come to me and they say, I can't find my way. I said, because your learning style, your audience of buyers is not the same as theirs. And I said, that's why I need you to help me. Help me figure out my lane. Help me figure out my delivery. Help me figure out my buyer. And I say, absolutely join the Business Scale Accelerator mentorship program. And they do. And they get the results that they're seeking. And that's why they stay with me, to continue to gain confidence, capabilities, and success, being a great guide for others, learning to style flex, learning to think about the different learning styles. And honestly, here is a gold nugget, slow things down. Because we are thinking about scaling our business and the money in less hours and not thinking about the results people get. Please, please show up as a great human being and care about the results other people are getting. You will be a rock star and you will fill your programs if you have the right buyers aware of you, if you think and know clearly what the result is, and you invest in your own skill development to ensure you're a great trainer. When you do that, you will not be in that 80%. When I look back upon my journey of course creation, one of the biggest challenges I said is I never built my audience of buyers. I had a great program nobody wanted to spend money for because they could get resources that were free or paid for by somebody else, and it didn't cost them money out of their own pocket. It was a hugely valuable lesson. The other key lesson I learned in my own journey is the timing of when to add group courses or memberships into your business. And it's only at the time when you have capacity problems solving and serving your one-to-one clients. It's a capacity issue. Don't let it be a lazy issue where you're driving for money and not caring for the results, because I will tell you, it will scupper your reputation that you cannot rebuild. Or if you can rebuild, it will take you years. I tell my clients all the time, they're like, Christine, I want to launch a course. I want to launch a podcast. I want to launch this. And I said, have you got an audience yet? Those are cart before the horse. You've got to really dial in your messaging. You got to know how to confidently move somebody from curiosity to paid clients. You need to know what you stand for, because what you stand for is the result. It doesn't matter whether it's one-to-one, group, course, membership, or any other permutation. Who you are is the embodiment of trust to the buyer, that you can guide them to the result. So you must think about your skill and development. And that's why when I take clients through the Business Scale Accelerator mentorship, we start with the foundations and we never move from them. Because when the engine of client growth starts, your reputation is building, opportunities are coming your way, your clients should be delivering results, you should be fine-tuning, and managing your capacity. Because you never want to lose sight that the business supports the life you're creating, which is impact. And if you're not driven by impact, I know you're not my buyer. But two things predict your revenue: how many people you're meeting, how many offers you're making. If you want to make offers that are courses, group programs, or memberships and masterminds, you must build your audience of buyers first. You must really clearly understand the result. That result must be confidently achieved through the vehicle of your services. And you should have social proof. And finally, you should have confidence that you can lead the room and that you have thought about how to ensure results. Because if 80% of people, 70 to 80% of people are not completing your programs, you are constantly on the launch hamster wheel. And we need to shift that. I'm on a mission personally to shift that, because I said I have zero regret about spending the money in that mastermind to learn the skills to launch a course. I had the hugest light bulb that was worth it when I said, wow, I've missed some really fundamental things I know better to do, but I needed the awareness to do it. And I now know when my business is in the space that I will be great with courses and other things, and they'll come into the calendar in 2024 because the audience size is there. The messaging is so dialed in. People who want an engine of consistent client growth and want it not from hearing me, but from sitting with me, working one-to-one, having laser coaching, building the skills, the capabilities, and the confidence that positions them as the must hire. We're going to hit a capacity challenge in the one-to-one group. I only take a certain number of clients, and I know exactly what that number is. After that, we will move to other things. And only then will we move to other things. And I know that I won't leave anybody behind. That's a value for me, a core value. And I hope that's what keeps you listening here every week on Amplify Your Marketing Message. When you are thinking about how to create more impact, how to create more income, how to create and be the catalyst of change, I want you to start with results. What do you stand for? How can you deliver it predictably? And if you're not sure how to pull the pieces together, don't put the cart before the horse and run to the programs. Find people who will be great guides for you, people who know how to train, how to develop the skills with you, and have been there in a multitude of industries, in a multitude of different styles. That path might be slower than you thought, but it's a crescendo. Focus on the right things. Build an audience of buyers. Master your marketing message to move somebody from curiosity to paid client predictably and in a short period of time, and know what result you can guide people to create and confidently lead the offer. Business is elegantly simple. Courses can be a great vehicle. I hope this episode shines the light on why it's maybe not been working for you. What do you need to have in place to be beating the odds? And if you've invested in great programs, I trust the programs are great because they got the results. But if they're not getting great results for you, come and chat with me about getting mentored directly by me in the Business Scale Accelerator mentorship. You can find details about that program on my website, ChristineCampbellRapin.com. I'm cheering for your success, and I mean that genuinely. How can I be of service? Let me know. I'll see you on our next episode. That's a wrap on another amazing episode of Amplify Your Marketing Message with me, your host, Christine Campbell Rapin. Be sure to subscribe on your favorite podcast platform so you don't miss another great episode. And be sure to visit ChristineCampbellRapin.com/podcast to get a free resource on how to master your marketing message. We'll see you all on our next episode.